Hello, everybody, and welcome back to what I believe to be episode 7. Well, I guess right now it's episode 7 of Victoria 2, our USA game. I'm going to be informal. This is the beginning of a session. I'm going to play numerous episodes in this, but I'm going to split them up for you guys so you can watch them periodically without having to watch a 45-minute video. Anyways, welcome back. In the last episode, which is probably poor quality because I split it in Windows Movie Maker so it looks like crap now. We beat the North German Federation and Denmark by blockading them right in the southern Baltic Sea, and we won Iceland and Greenland. I call it Denmark because of it has Denmark instead of Greenland. Also, I always forget that you can't see the cursor, but I realized playing back a video that you can see when I drag a box with the cursor, so I might do that to show you things if I remember to. So, I had plans for episode 5, but they were interrupted. Interrupted by war with Denmark. We have no political points right now in the diplomacy tab, so I can't really make political points with anyone. But I do want to increase my relations with Denmark again and Germany, because I don't see myself getting into a war with them anytime soon unless Denmark wages war on me for Iceland and Greenland, but hopefully they won't do that. Where's my navy? It should be in Iceland, I believe. So yeah, what I'm going to do this episode is stabilize my navy, rebuild it. Oh, reopen that thing. There we go. And what we're going to do, we're going to sail this back. Actually, let's sail this over to Norfolk and split it up. That sounds like a plan. You see, Pitt's threshing machine. This farming machine made agriculture less labor intensive and increase the output. Fruit production, grain production, tea production plus 20%, which is great. So, what I want to do this episode, pretty much... Oh, pause that. Oh, I didn't pause it for some reason. Real quick, I'm going to split all of the transport ships off of here and pick up our shift. I didn't know that. To transport all of those guys. Wow. That's neat. Okay, anyways, put those guys there to pick up these men, because that's our main army. I'm going to move this smaller army over to Iceland to protect it. What are these? They're also troops. They can pick up these guys, though. And then they'll sail over here and drop them off there. What is that one final ship? It's a frigate, so let's send that back to Norfolk as well. What I want to do is rebuild our navy now and keep our army up to date. Because these next couple episodes, what we're going to do is start our takeover of Canada. And I'll try and explain how we're going to do that. You see, I asked on Reddit, like there's a Paradox Interactive Reddit, and Paradox Interactive is the people who make Victoria 2, who made it, and along with other games. Is that the ones that are full? No. Okay. And so, yeah. Let me look real quick. I don't know if you can see this window or not, but hopefully not. If you can, then you can. On Reddit, there's a thing I made a topic, and someone named Shalayan, spelled Shalayn, gave me a comment. You see, I was trying to explain infamy in the last episodes, and so I'll go into that a little bit more now. When you wage war in a country, you gain infamy for your war goals, whether it be conquest, which annexes the whole place, or get a state, things like that. And with how the game works, getting a state is 10 infamy. your cap is 25 infamy. So it would literally take mechanized slaughtering block. By mechanizing the procedure inside the slaughterhouse, the handling was sped up and output increased. So, yeah, I would only be able to get like 2 states in a war with Britain at max because of the infamy cap. And then it would literally take, how many states do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 right now. 10 if they get Yukon and or Northwest Territories. So they have like 10 states. It would literally take 5 wars with Great Britain to get that, and I would have to wait like 20 years in a normal game because usually we have the decay for it is 0.1 when we're at peace, but I changed it in the game files to 0.4 because usually what I do, I've explained that I usually play militaristic games where I annex countries. Oklahoma, okay, it's a little late. Oh, we have a bunch of consciousness. Let's see if we can lower that. And so, I increased it, rather than cheating and using an event to reduce my infamy, I decided to just change it in the files to 0.4. And what that does, it's so much better overall for the game because that way, not only do I not have to actually cheat events, but then the whole world gets the same decay rate. It's not just me anymore cheating out my infamy because that's somewhat unfair. So, So that's unfair. So the whole world gets the same decay rate now. But even with that, I don't want to do that. So on Reddit, Shalayan, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. And what Shalayan did, or what he told me, is an exploit in the game. It's an exploit in the game that pretty much lets me annex the whole of Canada in only 2 wars. And I'm going to try and explain that a little bit. I think if we have state and government, we can actually annex Hawaii, but let's get positivism for colonial migration. What we need to do, we wage war on Canada, or Britain. We justify a war with Britain for free people. We can have a maximum of 7.5 infamy if we're discovered right away. And we free people in any one of the provinces, or any one of the states. We're going to go for New Brunswick because it borders us, it's small, and it's close. And what that'll do, when we win that war to liberate the people of New Brunswick, they will form as Canada. And then they will automatically be allied and in our sphere and stuff, and we'll reduce that over the years. But then, 5 years later, or however long afterwards that we want to, it's going to be risky, but I think we can do it. We wage war on Canada and Britain at the same time. We go 22 infamy to annex the new Canada. 22 infamy to annex Canada, and at the same time we go back to war with the United Kingdom with Liberate Country, which is there. We get a max of 11 infamy for that. So the total would be 33 infamy. Hopefully they don't get discovered right away, the justifications. Border ruffians. And so we'd do that, and we'd wage war on both Canada and Britain at the same time. And beyond that, I'll explain when we get there, but with that, we can annex the whole of Canada using an exploit in the game. It's not cheating at all. Well, it's a little cheaty, but it makes sense that we could annex the whole country in a war. Like, legitimately. It does make sense, even though it doesn't make sense according to the game. And all I'm doing right now is splitting up our navies a little bit for India, or wherever we're going to send them. And I should probably be doing this more. Okay. And I'm just going to do this as many times as I can. Well, just have them go there, actually. Leave them be. Suppress society. Can we do any things to reduce consciousness? This sounds okay. The Federal Fugitive Slave Act. What's the Kansas-Nebraska Act? Oh, Nah, I don't want anybody else gaining infamy. So let's do the Fugitive Slave Act. By introducing a Federal Fugitive Slave Act, we can enforce the return of escaped slaves to their owners in the slave states. Doing so will, at least for some time, calm Southern fears of abolitionism. And I'm not going to wage war on Britain until 1853. I think that's a good date. Where can we build armies? Just 2 Yankee, so it's not worth it. I don't want to build any more Dixie. And actually, I remembered I didn't merge these guys, so let's do that. We're just keeping a Dixie unit. Oh, and I totally forgot this episode. How's our sphering doing? Decrease opinion of... Why not? The United Kingdom usually goes for them. USCA, decrease opinion of... The UK also. Mexico, decrease fear of... Let's just decrease the opinion of the United Kingdom all the way around. Well, we're going to annex Hawaii soon enough, so that doesn't matter too much. Wickedness must be stamped out. Colombia, decrease everyone pretty much. France and the UK. And how's our sphering? Ooh, we can almost sphere Egypt, guys. Which means we can build the Suez Canal as well. In a few years, of course. And it looks like we're going to cut out in a second. The mic is when the year refreshes. So, bye. See you in a sec. There we go, and we can sphere Egypt. The UK is cordial, so let's increase our sphere there. And where else do we want to sphere? Can we sphere 2 Sicilies? Oh, they're in France's sphere. Morocco is being annexed. How about Transvaal and Sokoto? Or Orange? Madagascar will put 1 there. Transvaal will put 2 there. Because, you know, they're cool. I guess. I don't know if they're cool or not, but... And Haiti. How could I forget Haiti? It's always good to sphere people. So, our Navy, though, it's really looking kind of shabby here. What's up with my money? Oh, I severely decreased naval units. Let's turn that back up to 80. Or 80. Let's increase the tariffs to 10%. 15%, just to make sure. Let's leave our taxes. And that way we can keep our navies up to strength. Any extra frigates that we have, I'm just going to keep for later. Mechanical saw. This was power-driven saw that vastly increased the rate of cut-down timber. So timber production is increased. Ooh, a Southern Belle, Tennessee, and Chattanooga. There are 2,300 aristocrats and 300 capitalists, so 26 total, 2,600 in Tennessee, or craftsmen and laborers in Chattanooga. There are no craftsmen, but there are 25,000 plus laborers, so there we go. Latest newspaper, war between the Netherlands and Johor. Let me go see that. Usually the United Kingdom goes for Johor. And they want to annex them, I assume? Yeah, usually the United Kingdom goes for that. Demand Moroccan West Morocco and annex Morocco. Huh. So Morocco's going to get annexed. If we wanted African territory, we could annex Oman, because they have African territory here. But that's not a real important thing of ours on our table. Increased relations with Denmark. I'm really kind of disappointed that the United Kingdom hasn't given us caribou yet. I think it might... Geez, how bad is this changing? What have I done to... It was like... I don't know. Maybe we can actually annex with... Or join Germany soon as well as an ally. That would be pretty cool. Determinism is a philosophical doctrine, holding that all events are inevitable consequences of sufficient causes. This is often understood as denying the possibility of free will. Effect plurality plus 5. Combat medicine. At this point, the armies and navies of the world had acknowledged the need not only for a medical corps within their organizations, but also that the illnesses and wounds delivered in combat and frontline duty needed specialization. Army attrition is lowered, military hospitals plus 1. Now, who's at war? Ottoman Empire, Moldavia, and Wallachia are going after Egypt for Lebanon. They want to annex Lebanon. I don't know. I don't want to let them just have Lebanon, but I don't really feel like sailing over there to... Lebanon is just the upper part up here in the red, right there. Because this is Palestine. I don't see any problem with letting them have it, honestly. Just let them have Lebanon. That's an Egyptian army. Where do they have corps at? Is that the right? No. Diplomatic map mode. They have corps on everything up to Suez. I think we'll reject the Egyptians, but we have to... Because I don't feel like sailing anybody over there, so... Decline. But we can form an alliance and they will accept. And we'll give them war subsidies as well, as soon as they're done. Or in 2 weeks or so. Hopefully they can beat off the Ottomans. But it's unlikely with their small military. Yeah, their navy's getting crushed over here. But hopefully the war subsidies will help, or it's actually putting us in a little bit of debt, or negative money, but that's alright. The Ottomans are coming. Oh man, they have a lot of armies. 23, 27. Bhutan's opinion of the United Kingdom has increased to cordial. Actually, I think proto-existentialism. This was not a philosophical movement, but disparate philosophers analyzing and discussing concepts and conceptions which they considered flawed. The general notion about things as intuition, time, intellect, and being had to be reformulated, not to create pseudo-problems. And we got some prestige. I believe I could actually intervene in the war once Egypt starts losing. Well, I'm tempted to do that. They're a secondary power. Wait, who took over as the... The Netherlands is a world power. That's nice. Let's increase our relations with them. Nope, not decrease, increase. And while I'd love to help them, I really can't, I don't think. How many ships do they have? Doesn't say. I think they'll probably lose, but that's alright. As long as the Ottomans don't go after Suez, I'm alright. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Well, for you it might be a day or two, but be sure to check the next episode out. We're going to continue expanding our navy, our armies, and we might even help the Egyptians. Who knows? So, I'll see you then, and I hope you all have a great day.